Karibu Nyumbani family. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? There's a video I shared recently about one of our sisters who relocated to South Africa from the divided states, and she's found herself in a really tight financial situation, and kind of stuck because she can't go back. You know how it is, beloveds. She was an activist in her community. She's targeted. She's a targeted individual, etc., etc. And I didn't really share. I mean, it's a really sad story. If you can help her, by prayers, by watching her video, great. But I didn't really share that for that purpose. I just showed you. I shared that to show you how real it can get in Africa, just like anywhere in the world. And why, especially in Africa, beloveds, you have to make sure that you have that financial cushion. Find a way to be receiving some kind of income, even if it's just $500 a month, some kind of foreign currency that is coming to you. It will be so critical because the whole of, most of Africa, beloveds, the majority of the people are poor, and the jobs that are available, the middle class, and it's not an easy place to go around. It's not like I've lived in both the divided states and in Europe, so when I share this, I really do know what I'm saying. It's like I got an email from one of my subscribers the other day, and she was like emailing me from this homeless shelter, and she was telling me about her experience. We don't have that in Africa. We don't have homeless shelters. It's like when you're on your own, you're really on your own, beloveds. And so to even cushion, and you see a lot of people in Africa aren't aware of the struggles, because for me, most people even think I'm a foreigner. So like most Kenyans think I'm either from, Nigeria, South Africa, or the divided states. So they always, whenever they look at you with that lens of a foreigner, they think you have a lot of money or you have some kind of income, you're better off than them. And, but mainly the thing is, if you're from somewhere else, you have money. So so that's one thing that's important to realize, because I know a lot of our family are living literally paycheck to paycheck just because of the way the divided states works. And so to put some money aside becomes a bit tricky. But beloveds, that's why it is so important, because there is no fallback plan when you're in Africa. Like if sugar hits the fan, then you're kind of stuck. And that's why I would say, like, the most important things is to make sure you have some kind of online, but even if it's secretarial, even if it's proofreading online that you can submit. It might be some menial thing that you don't enjoy, but at least have that foreign income, beloveds. Or when you get to the country, especially like here in Kenya, if you're from the divided states, there's such a massive US embassy and US presence. So you can always, try and find some expatriate, I hate to call it that, but some expatriate work, beloveds, either with NGOs that are linked to your government or even your embassy. There might be some part-time work you can do because they can only hire citizens. Find that place where at least you're getting some foreign income that will cushion you until you set up your off-grid home, you set up your business, and you reduce your expenses. And especially, beloveds, when it comes to like when you initially move and you're renting and you're moving around, be very, very, very be very, very careful with your finances. I wasn't even going to share this, but this is another important part that just came to me. Another thing, beloveds, it's not so much even having that regular income, which is absolutely critical, but it's also having the financial discipline to manage it. Because you see, I just told you guys, a lot of people will see you as rich. And so they won't feel bad kind of taking advantage of you in small or big ways, because they think you already have the money, so you're not going to be affected, and they have nothing, their children aren't in school, whatever their scenario, they don't have enough food, whatever their scenario. And so oftentimes the people who will try and come to your aid when you initially relocate to a particular country may just be there to take advantage of you financially. And so you might find that you overspend in your initial week and months, and it's very critical to have that have that financial discipline and to have that budget in place, even if you've never budgeted before because of maybe how life was in the divided states. It's so important to stick to that budget, to know this is what I can get. Don't rely on any African country yet. You're going to find work there, etc., etc. And also don't rely on the internet, like, or YouTube or whatever, that when I get there, I'll start a YouTube channel and then I'll start making money. All these are supplementary things. Because even the way YouTube has rigged the system now, it's like you have to give them 4,000 free hours before they even consider giving you some kind of money. And that takes a while, unless you're willing to do lives for hours and hours on end, but you still have to have the views. So those should just be supplementary incomes. But try and find a way, beloveds. And there are a lot of online jobs. There's also a lot of YouTubers who have done great shows on how to find work online. So try and find that, or try and have something that is bringing you a regular income, even if it means subletting your place, if you're able to do that, something that will give you that foreign income, because $200, $400, $500 in Africa can go a long way and can really help you to stabilize. And remember, beloveds, you're in it for the long haul. So don't come here and like try and party like a rock star. You know what I mean? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So set your financial pace. It's better to be like tight in the beginning and to have extra than to be too overflowing in the beginning and then you have to give extra. Please watch my videos on always negotiate. Most likely, if they see you're a foreigner, they're already giving you like a quotation that's double the price. Excuse me. So always make sure you're negotiating, beloveds. And bargaining, take the time to do that, as annoying as it is. And really just realize, like, finances in Africa is how they get most people. That's why most people have even aborted their relocation journeys, because Africa, on one side, it's very cheap and affordable. But if you want to get into the big city life, the restaurants, that expatriate life, that gets expensive and it can dry your funds very quickly. You see, in Nairobi, you can go and you can eat a meal for $1 or you can eat a meal for $100. It's nice to have those $50, $100 meals. But those $1, $2 meals are just as delicious, especially for us vegetarians. You know what I mean? And we have to find a balance to that life. And that's why it's so important, beloveds, as I always encourage, not to stay in the major cities. Because you see, in the major cities, as a foreigner, you stick out. And so, unfortunately, you may be drawn more to spending time, in the bars, in the restaurants that are a bit more expensive, just because it's that expat, community. It's a foreigner, so you feel like you're not being exploited, or people will tell you that's where it's safe for your people, your people, etc., etc. So, and sometimes it's boring in the cities. So that's why I always say, beloveds, know your objective. The minute you land, your whole thing is to move off grid, to move away from the city and then to start building your home. So make sure you're engaged in that every day, in that process, whether it's searching online, calling people, physically going to see the place. And when you transition out of the city, you'll be shocked at how cheap life becomes, at how much you have savings to do different things on your land, So really, that financial discipline at the very beginning and having that initial out country, that's what we call it, income coming from somewhere, a foreign currency income, will really be a game changer, especially right now, beloveds, when the euro and the dollar across Africa are like increasing. That kind of benefits you, because that means that, your $200 will be, 30, 40,000 shillings. You can pay rent. You can at least buy your food. You can secure something, beloveds. Please let me know if there's any other topic you'd like us to cover. All the best with your relocation journey. Tuko pamoja.